Coming up in this week's episode.
Maybe on 999 they should have press 1 if you're currently being stabbed, press 2 if someone's running at you with a knife, press 3 if you've seen one with a knife.
I never quite understood the appeal of tantric sex, to be quite honest. This is a horrible image that we're James having tantric sex with Sting.
Who came up
with that and did not realise? No. Finger a criminal.
That's pretty much how it happens in the prisons. Maybe that's what they're prepping them for. Come on, they're in the showers.
It's time to adjust those shoulder pads, backcomb what's left of your hair, and jump into the DeLorean for a look back at what's possibly the best decade anyone could ever have grown up in.
Shall we play a game?
This is Bring Back the 80s with your hosts James Alderson and me, Andy Jackson.
Welcome to another edition of the Bring Back the 80s podcast. Andy Jackson here, James Alderson over there.
Hello,
James.
Hello.
You feeling old?
No.
Big birthday coming up, James.
I have got a big birthday coming up, and I'm bigger than ever, so that's the brilliant.
We won't reveal.
No.
But it's got a nice round number to it, hasn't it?
Has it? Yeah.
So
I'm quite nice and round as well.
It's going to be either a 30 or a 40, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be. It's not a 60 though, you cheeky bastard.
Something like that. Welcome along. Look, here we are. Thank you very much for watching us and suggesting us to your friends as well.
Yeah.
Last time, we've gone again semi-viral on the old socials.
Yeah,
so thank you if you've recommended us.
Yeah.
If you want to see, all you got to do to tell your friends about this is it's two fat old men. Talking about things that we used to do in the 80s. And today we're talking about things, various things really, isn't it? About scrapes and things that we might have gotten into. That's a bit American.
Yeah. Yeah, and emergency services and all that sort of gubbins. Just probably the right time of year.
Yes.
For this sort of stuff. Everyone getting into it. Always seems when the weather changes and the winter and the dark nights, you just see a lot more police and ambulances and just emergencies and injuries, and it's just, I don't know, maybe us humans aren't made for night times.
Was it always a thing where A&E was just a no-go area on Friday and Saturday? Was it like that back in the 80s, or were we a bit more sensible back then?
I don't know. I certainly don't remember it as the carnage it is these days.
Oh my God, you get in there and you see on the on the screen, your average wait time is 8 hours. And you think, have these people got nothing better to do?
Well, these days you phone up, don't you? And they ask you all these questions. And if any of them go out of the parameters of what they're expecting, they say, call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. It's just a chipped fingernail, but it doesn't look right to me. It's like, quick. Nobody wants to be sued. No. The person on the end of the phone says, well, you're absolutely right. Whatever happens, it always ends with, just in case, just pop yourself down to A&E. Yeah. If you don't call, 111 is one of those ones where it's a great new thing since the 80s, that you can just put your mind at rest, but don't phone it.
No. It's better to self-diagnose. Back in the 80s, we had to go because we couldn't get onto Google and scare ourselves absolutely shitless with what it might or might not be.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like, I've got meningitis.
Yeah. No, you've always got cancer. If you tap in anything on Google, it's like, I've had this cough for more than a week. You think you've got throat cancer? Oh no. Have you tried chemo? What? They wouldn't say that on 111, would they?
No. But you can at least. What we need is like a happy medium, somewhere between 111 and somewhere between Google, where you can. They're not going to send you straight to A&E, but they're not going to tell you got cancer.
Well, you see, 999 used to be ambulances coming. 111, when it first started, it was going to be you're all right. So I reckon now they needed like a 555, where someone's been like, I'm not sure if you're going to be all right, but you're not dying. It should be an intermediate number.
One. Yes.
And I tell you what 555 could be is where they fucking answer. That would be really good, because you dial 111 and they go, you're in a queue. At 999, you're in a queue.
Yeah.
I could be getting stabbed to death here. Maybe on 999 they should have press 1 if you're currently being stabbed, press 2 if someone's running at you with a knife, press 3 if you've seen one with a knife, someone with a knife, and they're near your estate. It just doesn't seem to be the urgency there used to be. And I love the fact that you used to there used to be adverts, so there used to be clips where you'd phone 999 and within a second, because I remember this happening, within a second it'd be like, emergency services, you're like, oh God, thank you, ambulance please. And now I've phoned 999 and you just waiting.
Yes.
Just waiting for them to pick up. Like, I did this joke on my tour where in the old, you do the old dial 999. By the time the bloody dial has gone around, they could be dead. It's like, don't worry, don't bother coming. Too late.
Oh dear! Because it's not just the like the medical emergency services, the police as well.
Yeah.
If you needed, like you say, if you were being stabbed, obviously you want the ambulance being there, but you want the police to be there to catch the bad guys as quickly as possible.
Please, yeah.
And you think, I don't know about you now, but now I think unless somebody's stolen £1 million, they are not interested.
No, I mean, maybe even not then. They'll just give you an insurance claim number. And
just a number, isn't it? It's just literally a box.
But that's the American thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's because we, in the 80s and 90s, always said, we're 10 years behind America. It's all the litigious world, over there. And you go, no, it won't be. But now you do phone up and they don't, they were like, if you want to claim it, I'm often finding policemen in my audiences, Andy, which they're delighted with. In fact, on Friday night, the guy left, which is a first for me, because I was at him quite a bit. Not nasty, just chatting to him constantly, because I said, you're like this at my car window on a hard shoulder. Answer the question, sir. And I'm asking you questions, and you've got to answer. He was taking it in good spirit. He probably had a babysitter to go back to or something. But I often say, if I find a guy who's in a patrol car, not in a patrol, that would be ridiculous in the audience. Just get out of the car, mate. But I always say, how many of you, are around here then at any one time? And he's like, one.
Yeah.
Like, at night, for the whole of Hampshire and part of Sussex, just one car.
It is very scary how few police there actually are around. If you were to do like now, it's almost like saying, if you want a sure bet, get into crime now because you're never going to be arrested.
No.
You've got more chance of winning the lottery than being arrested.
Well, it depends what you're doing. There's a famous comedian called Paul Chowdhury, and he says they're not going to catch you if you're catch the guy who stabs you unless you're getting stabbed in a bus lane, and then they'll definitely get you. Which is just a great line, and it's true. If you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, that maybe you could get fined, then that's where you're hoping that a crime's going to be made against you, and they might catch it all on camera.
Yeah, so basically, if you're walking home late at night, walk home in a bus lane. Yes, and you're going to be okay.
You'll get a taxi home.
Yes,
definitely.
So we guarantee, James, now with Christmas coming up, we're the ones who are going to be stopped.
You know what?
Get a drink, sir.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been stopped twice late at night in my car for a misspaced number plate that I've got, right? By the same copper.
Yes.
Once in Westmeon, which is like mid-Hampshire or North Hampshire, and once in Gosport. Middle of the night by the same policeman in the same car for a number plate issue.
He's the one, though, isn't he? He is the policeman.
He's the only one for Southern England. Yeah. So it's always some silly little things. And if you want something serious, I mean, obviously, if it all kicks off, then they do come running, and that's great to know. But it does seem like I always used to worry that there's always a policeman around the corner when I was a kid. If I was messing about in the playground, you'd always have someone glancing around, making sure.
Yeah.
Because usually there would be.
Yes.
You turn a corner and there would be a copper walking in the distance or walking up. But yeah, now.
And if you did misbehave, a little short, sharp,
truncheon to the back of the head,
and you'd be, and maybe that was the way forward. Because what we need now is more recruiting. But this is how they used to recruit back in the 80s. Have a look at this.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, they make allowances for their doubting too.
Oh, come on, let's just agree to differ.
If you can wait and not be tired by waiting,
would you come in now?
Or being lied about, don't deal in lies.
Go on, get out of here.
Or being hated,
don't you dare touch him.
don't give way to hating, but try to see things through the other's eyes. If you believe that all men should be brothers, regardless of their colour, style or race,
Nice shot.
if you've risked your life to save another's, then had your courage flown back in your face. If you accept the chances roughly zero of getting any thanks for what you've done, what does it make you? Madman, saint, or hero? Or just another policeman, my son?
Makes you think.
That would have to have been the Met.
Yes,
advert.
yes. Because but back in the 80s, racism was rife.
Oh.
Absolutely rife. I remember being with, I had a friend who was black, and he was literally, whenever he was out in his car, he would be stopped, regardless.
Yeah, I mean, that is still quite prevalent, to be honest. But, I mean, you know, our grandparents would have choked on their soup seeing an advert where a black lad had putting a helmet on for a police. You know, even today, I reckon that the very old generation would be like, but it's still a massive thing. You've got to really start bringing every sort of ethnicity into every sort of work of life. If they're qualified, they're qualified. It doesn't matter, does it? But I did love the line where it said something about all men or something.
Yes.
Like, okay, so you're doing different ethnicities, but we're not having any birds in. Thank you very much.
Yes. Well, back then, though, all they could do was type, wasn't it?
Well, they had to. No, they could be out on the streets, but they had to be a certain height. So I think that probably makes the advert a little bit tricky. I think men actually had to be a certain height as well. But my mum always wanted to go into the police. Women had to be 5'4", I think.
Yeah. And
she was 5'2". But I also think that men had to be like 5'9" or 5'10".
That would have ruled me out.
Well, yeah. I mean, it sort of makes sense when you think about it, because you need to have the power and the height and the ability to control a situation, sometimes physically. But then they changed it, and they can get any old Tom, Dick and Harry coming in the old police. You can be 4'6", probably.
I think the most important thing is you have to be 12 years old to be a policeman.
And your head has to go to the top of that helmet.
Oh my God! I know it's the thing that our parents always used to say. Aren't the police getting younger?
And doctors.
And everybody, James, literally everybody is getting younger now.
I mean, I don't mind the police looking young, because it means they're fit and healthy and able, and they can run forever, and they can just, agile, jump over fence, it's brilliant. But when a doctor rocks up, who's just come out of, looks like they're in second year of senior school, I do feel a little bit vulnerable.
Yes.
Because I'm sat there thinking, I'm not that old, am I? And they come and talk to me like I am, and they've got a clipboard and something, and a pager, and a Game Boy. I don't know what they've got, but they look young.
A lot of times you go to the doctors now and you don't actually see an actual doctor, do you? Because there's like the clinical nursing staff. Sometimes I have my annual checkup and I go and I don't see the doctor for that. I see a clinical pharmacist or something. Okay. But sometimes when you go in to see a GP, it's not an actual GP.
Oh, I know what you mean.
You're seeing
Some
it's
sort
like
of associate,
sort of something between a doctor and an actual doctor.
Yeah.
And I think it's the luck of the draw what you get, to be honest.
I think I might be just you, Andy. In the surgery, they're like, yes, it's him again. Please don't let me have to go out and touch him. He's very weird, this guy. I find that the really young doctors, the really young ones, are in the hospitals. So I've been in the hospital quite a lot with my dad over the last year. And the kids are turning up. It's like mind blowing, and I know that they're sort of filling a gap, aren't they? Because there's a shortfall and stuff, and hopefully that's getting sorted out now. But it's I mean, the young police, I think, is good. Young doctors makes me a little bit edgy, but they're always very, very good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Shall we do the mystery sound?
Go on in.
This was last week's. We do have a winner. I'll tell you who it was, and we'll see if we can work out what it was as well.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's the mystery sound of the 80s. It's the mystery sound of the 80s.
We all wanted to be Tom Selleck.
What a sexy beast.
Oh my God. I mean, just living the dream.
Ferrari, private investigator.
Helicopters.
Yeah, that was the same colour as my nan's curtains. It's very 70s, 80s colour wash there with orange and yellow and brown. But I wasn't ever sure about the tash, but when he was wearing a tank top or something and he was cruising along in that Ferrari with a girl with no clothes on or something, it's just like,
the girls were always of a particular, shall we say, build. The girls as well, weren't they? I don't know if you ever noticed that.
I think they were on Player Cards Right, some of them as well, doing the dealing, weren't they? But it's just, I don't know. He was every cliche, wasn't he? And at the time, it was just brilliant. Now you watch it and think, it's like soft porn. But great. And obviously, he was helping solve crime.
Absolutely. And of course, if you were going to be in that line of business, you would need to be in that country to make it happen. It's just not going to be the same in Wolverhampton.
It isn't. You couldn't turn up in a Ferrari with a tash and a helicopter and be like, "What are you doing, mate?" It's just like, I'm just making sure you're going to school.
Isn't it sad though that the helicopters now, of course, they're all replaced by drones?
Oh yeah.
So you're not going to be flying probably a helicopter.
No, you could turn up on an e-scooter maybe.
Yes, you
like,
could.
Nina, Nina. You could just be shouting that as you go down the street. Although it's not. I often wonder, do kids still do those noises? Because that's the noises they made in the 80s.
Yeah, it's not Nina or Nina.
It isn't. It's
yeah.
I don't know if that's a nursery noise anymore. God, because kids, we actually made those noises because that's the noise. So I wonder if they still do it though. You know, when you're racing around the playground as a 5-year-old pretending you're a fire engine, I wonder if they do that noise. I suppose sometimes they do. Maybe. Anyway, he didn't make Nina noises out of his helicopter, I don't think.
I don't think he did. If you're just listening and not watching, of course, that was Magnum P.I. was the answer we were looking for. The real guy, or at the real guy 1971 is the winner.
Oh, well done, real guy.
I think we can work out your age from your. I was going to call it handle, but we're back to the CV.
I think he's pretty core demographic listener. 1971, pretty standard.
So you can have a T-shirt in all the different sizes. Bring back the 80s T-shirt or tickets to one of the comedy shows across the south.
Well, we've still got about 20 tickets left, I think, for the live show in a couple of weeks' time. Or if you're listening to this at some point in January,
too late.
Too late. You missed it. But it's 5th of December.
5th of December, yeah.
Yeah. So I think literally the back 2 rows. So everyone wants to be close to us, Andy. Just want to be able to touch us, don't they?
Right, the very, very front.
Close.
So this is going out on the 26th of November. So literally, if you're hearing this now, there might be 1 or 2 left.
Maybe.
When we did this, James, I thought nobody's going to come and see this old nonsense. It turns out
everybody
was.
Come.
How about that? So
I was always confident.
look forward to seeing you there. So that was last week's Mystery Sound. Well done, the real guy 1971. This is the new one, and I thought we'd theme it out as well.
Okay.
Again, it's a TV show. Just tell me the name, please, of this TV show. Just a little burst for you there.
That was family viewing. I don't think it was a weekend. I've got a funny feeling it was.
I'm pretty sure it was midweek.
Thursday or something. Maybe not. Maybe it was around Top of the Pops time. But it was. I just loved it. I loved it. And these days we seem to have nothing. Not that I'm aware of, like it. Not really. It's all. Well, I suppose we have. I don't want to give it away too much, but there's a lot of interceptors and real life stuff, isn't it? It's all like crashing cars and
disasters abound. Yes,
yeah, but it's all real life, or a lot of real life gets the most views. I always find it humorous when you watch these police cars and they're filming this Fiesta in front of them that sort of gets stolen, and they start pulling up behind the Fiesta that they've just seen get stolen on their dash cam, and then they watch it, and the guy sort of jumps out and punches an old lady in the face and runs into a shop and robs some stuff and runs into the distance, and then at the end it says so and so couldn't be charged due to lack of evidence. I've Sky Plussed it. If you want to watch this, you could use this as evidence. I've got it all.
Do you remember the old CCTV though from those days, and just how absolutely shit it was? You know, like vaguely black and white.
Oh yeah,
shapes. You used to have in Woolworths. You used to have that thing on the ceiling with all the lenses poking out like
something Star Wars,
like an alien.
Yeah.
What did that see?
Well, I don't know, but it discouraged you when you were just about to nick two pence of sweets, and it went. There's all these different things. It was like some sort of medical device.
It's like when you go to Home Bargains now. They got that great big cutout of the policeman.
Yes.
So and it's there like every time. I go, oh,
I know, and that shows the development of the police because in the 80s they're trying to recruit. Different ethnic minorities, weren't they? The black guy in the mirror. The cutout's a black guy.
Yes.
See how far we've come?
We've come
40
very
years.
far,
the cutout's a black dude. Well done. But I tell you what, though, it does make you think. It does. That cutout. Yes. It is weird. Statistically, I believe it does reduce.
Otherwise, they wouldn't do it, would they?
Yes. And it does. I don't know. I guess maybe these days. People have seen so few policemen that kids these days might think that is a policeman, the cutout. And that must be what a policeman looks like. That's a policeman I won't rob. And they think, well, it's cardboard, but maybe it's comes to life when I robbed it.
It's like AI. Isn't
Yeah,
it? It's an early form of AI.
It's a droid, some sort of robot Tesla police guy that comes and attacks me, even though he's made of cardboard.
The thing is, though, with there's the AI is getting so clever now. They will know now, but as you go in, they will somehow know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking about stealing something, they will know that.
They'll arrest you before you've walked in.
Before you've even gone in, before you even leave home, James.
Come and knock on your door. It'd be brilliant. If I got robbed the night before and then the next day I was thinking of robbing, and then I'd be like, I'll think of robbing someone. They'll come to my house. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you're here because I got robbed last night. So that's a great way to get the police house.
Well, did you know what? As long as you got a no TV license, James, then of course they're going to be there waiting, aren't they?
They'll be there anyway. Do you remember them? The vans, the license vans up the road.
The TV detector vans. Oh my God, they're coming. They were like ice cream vans, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I still can't believe that now it is still illegal to watch TV if you haven't got a special. We must be the only country in the world, apart from maybe North Korea, where you have to have a special piece of paper to say that you can watch telly.
Well, I think that you're not allowed to watch telly or listen to any BBC radio, any of that without it. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it?
It's weird. I think you can watch you can watch stuff on Netflix.
Yeah.
Without a TV license, unless it's like a live stream fight or something, in which case it's so complicated now. You need to have a TV license.
Well, not just BBC.
Anything, no.
Oh.
So it's anything that happens live.
Yeah.
If you're watching Coronation Street as it goes out, then you need a license.
Really?
To do that? Yeah.
What about YouTube? What YouTube? Can people watch this without a license? Criminals. You're all criminals.
If this, to be fair though, if we were streaming this live, probably you would need one.
I don't know.
Very complicated.
Don't worry, we're lawbreakers too. It's fine.
We're not going to grass you up.
Dump you in.
Listen, if you want to tell us what the mystery sound was, by the way, I forgot to say in the comments there, or there, and just let us know who you are as well.
Yeah.
And then we will identify you as if by magic.
Okay.
And then that's the way to get hold of us. So you can I think we still got an email.
Oh.
If you look on the website somewhere.
The email's still a thing.
Bring back the 80spodcast.com. You can email us through there as well. So much going on at the moment. Let me take you back again to the 1980s.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let us try and keep safe if we can with this little reminder.
If you've got a battery-operated smoke alarm, it's essential that you carry out the following simple checks. Test the battery every month by pressing this button. And once a year, replace the battery and remove dust from the sensor with a vacuum cleaner. Look after your smoke alarm. If it doesn't wake you, maybe nothing will. Wake up. Check your smoke alarm.
Jesus. That was a nasty end image there.
Yeah.
Nobody, not a single person checked their smoke alarm until they were in the kitchen or the lounge and it would just beep incessantly for about a month.
Yeah.
Like, and now they're wired in to the house. So you can't bloody stop the beeping anyway.
I think when we do the live show, we'll do a show of hands in the audience to find out how many people have hoovered their smoke alarm.
Hoover it?
Who has hoovered their smoke alarm?
A lot of people didn't know where they were until they did that incessant beeping that wouldn't bloody stop and drive you crazy. I've got to say that when we talked about this and you said, let's do some stuff about the police and stuff, I did get this sorted, and but it was the wrong thing, so I got that for you. Press him with a bit of string on the back, because that's how you put it on the wall, of course. And it's a mirror. Well, it's meant to be a mirror. It's a bloody good looking bloke in that mirror. But yeah, good old Sting. Is it the police or police? I never know.
The police. Yeah, good question actually.
I always get told off putting the in front of it. You
always say the, don't you?
Is it the police? I always say the Beyonce. It's just it's the, isn't it? The Madonna.
Yeah.
The Sting. No, it's not the Sting. But yeah, isn't that lovely?
He would have been tall enough though to get in, wouldn't he?
He would. That is real life size. What? Why was he called the police? And do we know the story behind that?
I've got no idea, James. Obviously, with my job of being on the radio and playing music, I ought to know why the police were called the police.
Yeah,
answers on a postcard, please.
Tantric sexy dogs, doesn't he? So I'm getting a bit of a vibe from the back of this mirror, to be honest. He's bloody good, isn't he? And he's good.
That mirror's moving, James. He's touching it. I never quite understood the appeal of tantric sex, to be quite honest. This is a horrible image that we're James having tantric sex with Sting.
I feel the police coming at any minute.
But I always feel like, you know, let's just say that you were going to go and have sex, but you were told it was going to be tantric sex, I would feel, shall we say, shortchanged something.
Yeah, I think that's a good excuse for not touching the bloke you like. Just like, oh, should we do tantric sex? So what's that? It's where I don't get near you.
Nothing happens at all.
It's like, can we not do tantric sex? A lot of people watching this will be married for 25 years are thinking, that's all I get these days. I just don't get a chance. I'm having a bit of that from Sting, bless him. He's got it all going on. But the thing with the fire brigade and all these sorts of adverts, I don't think we have these adverts anymore. Do we get police and fire brigade adverts?
I don't think we do.
Check your stuff.
I think the thing is that because they used to be like filler adverts, didn't they?
Yeah.
They used to be public service things.
Yeah.
And go back as far back as like when Charlie says, "Don't throw your bloody frisbee up to the power lines," and that kind of thing. Yeah. But I don't remember seeing these things. I think you still get them on the radio every now and then.
Yeah.
There's one that we used to do, and there was one for bizarrely for farmers saying, and it was done in a farmer's voice. This was on the radio. It's farmers. If you're driving machinery, check for overhead power lines.
Good.
And that was it. That was it.
That was one line.
I used to think, if I was a farmer, I would be so bloody annoyed. That he spoke like that because I was a farmer, and B, that I'm too fucking thick to think that there's a bloody power cable.
Did they have one that went, "Hey, bus drivers, watch that low bridge, you dick," because that happens far too much as well.
Doesn't it? It still does.
I saw one in the middle of nowhere the other day, thinking, why is there a double-decker bus in the middle of nowhere? And he did swerve and just got through because they pull it into the middle of the those white lines are to remind people with high-sided vehicles not to drive down the left-hand side of the bloody bridge because you'll take the fucking top off your bus.
You would think somehow that there would be some kind of automatic warning system built in now, these days, surely.
Warning low bridge alert.
Yes.
Yeah, something happening, and it swerves the bus for you. Yeah, I do remember all the safety adverts, but I don't remember too many of the police and fire brigade adverts. And I think these days, if you had them, there'd be a bit of a backlash, particularly a police, where they'd be like, "Oh, thanks for the police advert, but I haven't seen a policeman for fucking ages, 6 years." I did see one in Havant. Probably a couple of years ago was the last time I saw a Bobby walking through, and I said, "Bloody brilliant to see you, mate." I haven't seen, and he had the high hat, the helmet, and everything.
You do have is it the PCSOs, which are the almost police?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be negative because anything is better than nothing.
Presence, brilliant.
To be quite honest.
Yep.
But that tends to be what you see, and they're more of in an advisory capacity,
almost a community.
Thing,
they're community support officers and have the blue on, don't they? A lot of blue stuff on. And but they got a lot of shit when they first came onto the streets, plastic police and all that stuff. But it is good to have them walking about communities, and they do really get about. You're right, I'd forgotten about them. But I do miss their high helmets.
It's not a thing anymore, is it?
I don't think so.
No.
I think they do have them.
Ceremonial, perhaps,
maybe,
but they're not going to be, because it always used to be the thing that you would try to knock off
it was
policeman's helmet, wasn't it? Back in the Beano comic days. They were always after the catapult with to knock off the policeman's helmet.
I just remember them being everywhere, and I remember I went to see my mate in Cosham, who always used to get up to trouble, and we were walking about early evening, and he said to me, when we get to this alleyway, he said, just run, because there was a police car that was just driving behind us. And I was like, what? He said, just run. And we went to the alleyway and bolted it like crazy back to his house. And we heard them go, "Oi, come back. And we ran left up the street and into his front door before they could follow us. But I mean, these days, I don't think they chase anybody that was running because they just think, just kids running. Well, to be honest, I don't think I've seen a police car for a while. But it was just I don't know what he'd been up to, but it scared the bejesus out of me.
I bet it did. Yeah, maybe it was just like a wind up.
I think
like
so,
whenever
probably.
you see a policeman, run. see what happens.
I think back then it was always best to run anyway. But, did I mention he was black?
Remind me again of where you grew up, James.
Well, yes.
Yes.
A salubrious establishment.
Yes. A surprise round every corner. Speaking of which, by the way,
that's my slogan.
James's special lunchbox surprise.
Now, obviously, if people are watching this when it's meant to be watched, thank you. This is perfect opportunity if you grab my lunchbox. This is the sort of stuff that let me put
Sting down.
Put Sting somewhere else. And this is a sort of thing that parents would have been buying, I think, for stockings and stuff like that. And I thought I'll get some and let's see if they taste like they used to.
So into the Transformers lunchbox we go.
Yeah,
was this going to, before I reveal, is this a school lunch or is this something for home?
Oh no, this is a treat.
A treat, okay.
Yes,
The big look at the size of
Thank you.
that one.
Let's hope that people are watching.
That's a good handful there,
Thank
James.
you, yeah. So, this is definitely a kiddie's treat. These tubes would always be about around Christmas time. They've come back in resurgence recent years. Jelly tots.
And they've made them impossible to get into, James,
Well, yeah, I mean, for older people, it is very
we haven't got the dexterity that we once had.
Sellotape has always been a bastard at Christmas, hasn't it? Getting the sellotape off
for the presents. I hated it.
No.
But when I was the rapper, I would whole roll. Oh my god, yeah. just to be a bastard.
Well, these jelly tots came in the little packs, and they were the thing, weren't they? Fruit pastels, wine gums, jelly tots. Are they separate in there?
They are separate in there.
Oh,
there you go.
Thank you. Oh,
good old handful there.
I don't remember them being quite that chunky.
I don't remember them being that shaped, to be honest.
No.
But
and they used to be a lot more sugary.
They've got like a light dusting now. Good chew.
It tastes the same, but I don't remember them being like a dome with a flat bottom.
No.
I thought that they were almost like a cylindrical. Not cylindrical.
Circular, whatever. Yeah. Well, good chew, though. They're good flavour.
Bigger than they used to be. I remember them being about half that.
There's a lot of ingredients going on here.
No.
But it's made by our friends at Nestles, who are part of Roundtrees, or Roundtrees are part of Nestles.
Yeah, and it's really pushing the logo of Roundtrees, which is nice to see. Because sometimes it does get a bit sidetracked.
These are really tasty, actually. I'm going to give these a solid 10 out of 10.
Well, I think I'll give them a 9 because the shape's changed. Have a little look at the thing, because on here, look, they do look spherical still.
Yeah, see, I remember them being bigger, but you remember them being
you're thinking
smaller.
of fruit pastels. Fruit pastels are very similar. They're big.
Maybe
big,
I am.
Things.
Maybe the dim and distant past you, because I'm slightly older than you.
Yeah. No, these are nice.
Your big birthday coming up.
Yeah, I mean, these are nice. I think
very fruity. They taste like they've got real fruit in them.
They're made with fruit juice.
No,
so well identified there.
There we go. There. I'm sticking with the 10 for that, James. Sticking with the 10 for that.
If they had the circular, the shape. That's the only reason why I lose a point. Just a shape, but yeah, they're very lovely indeed. Just reminds me, used to get those little packets, and it'd just be enough to have some of those little jelly tots back in the day. You wouldn't get them weighed out of jars or anything. You get a tiny little packet of jelly tots,
and it would be. See, the thing is now, because they're selling them in this massive tube.
Yeah,
James, that we by the end of this will have scoffed the lot.
Yes,
because it's in a massive. It's like those duo bars that they sell of the double deckers and things. They say, you can have one now and one later. Never in a million years is later going to not be now.
Well, I like that. I'm like that with a packet of biscuits. Oh my God. Have one now, have one later. They're like, what, one pack? I mean, I've finished the whole lot with a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I was feeling, you might know, I'm a little bit croaky. I was feeling sorry for myself, and I never ever have biscuits.
Right.
And I just thought, because I'm feeling sorry for myself, I'm going to have some chocolate hobnobs.
Oh, they're the worst.
Went over to the corner shop, got the hobnobs, literally The whole lot gone.
The whole lot?
The whole flipping lot.
You're going to
gone.
need some emergency services. You will not float after that lot. That is Christ on a bike. You call the Coast Guard. Call the Coast Guard. Andy's had a whole pack of hobnobs. They are...
Addictive, yeah.
I mean, that is about 3 days worth of calories you've had there, mate.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed for you.
Can you tell they're sitting heavy? But oh my God, James, they were delicious.
This is all jelly tots. This is... I was fine before I came in here.
When did hobnobs become a thing? Because I don't remember hobnobs being around.
No.
In the 80s, we had digestive biscuits.
Of course, they were for your health.
Yeah, and for your digestion.
Yeah.
And if you were really lucky, chocolate digestive.
Garibaldi.
Or your bourbons, perhaps.
Shortbread.
Yeah.
And obviously custard creams and some nice biscuits. But I think that hobnobs, you always had the oaty biscuits. That hobnobs are a very oaty sort of taste, aren't they? So you had them, but someone in the 90s decided, you know what we need is the oaty biscuits with a fuck ton more sugar, load of chocolate, chuck it all in, and you can't stop eating them.
I was ashamed of myself, and that's why I can't have them in the house.
Yeah, oh no.
I cannot have them. I think it's exactly the same with these jelly tots. But I'm going to have to put these out of arm's reach, James.
Yeah, for both of us. I see.
Otherwise, there's going to be issues. Definitely.
You might need this. You might need a Ladybird's first aid book.
Oh my God! Okay, first steps in first aid.
Get Andy back on the straight and narrow. Let's help him out with his hobnob problem.
This is good, James.
Yeah, there's a lot of tips in there, mate. So you don't need to worry about 999 anymore.
It's what's wrong. You can't help someone who's been hurt unless you find out what's wrong. Be a first aid detective. Look for clues.
Where's his arm gone?
There are 3 ways to find out what's wrong. Ask what happened.
Oh.
Your patient may well tell you, I fell off my bicycle. That kind of information is called the history. There are signs, James, as well.
Got him.
This is two of 3.
Yeah.
Use your eyes and hands to discover signs of injury. Already we're on dodgy legal ground here.
Well, I think that if you ask what happened and they don't reply, and then you're looking around you, you might notice his head's been chopped off.
James, does your skin feel cold and sweaty?
Ooh, yes.
Or is it hot and dry?
Yeah.
All the above.
This age.
Ask your patient if anything feels wrong.
Yeah.
Like, can you move your leg, James?
Well, I think I've just had tantric sex with Sting.
Which brings me on neatly to the next question. Or the next answer. I'm feeling sick.
Yeah. There we go.
These are called symptoms. This is a brilliant book. First steps in first aid, James. I'm loving this.
And you notice none of those said you might have cancer.
Thank
No,
goodness for that.
I'll keep this, mate, because at our age, that is often what we look like.
Always a bandage, always a plaster needed.
We'll have another look at that in the next episode. I think that's quite fun.
Indeed. So as you still got Sting on your lap there, and the police. Let's go back to the police again. We were saying that now there never seems to be a police person around when you need one.
Yeah.
Even back in the 80s, though, the police were assisting the help of celebrities to help them solve crimes. Check this out, James.
Good evening. If I may, I'd like to take you back to mid-July on a post office van robbery in Basingstoke we covered on Police 5. The detectives investigating tell us they were able to use the Police 5 broadcast in the most unexpected and successful way. And maddeningly, I can't tell you how, because they've made arrests and the matter is sub judice. So, patience, all will be revealed in court, no doubt.
It's what?
Exactly.
Who's involved in that?
Can I just say?
She sounds like a glamorous lady. It's in sub judice. She sounds like a lovely lady. Hey, how's she involved? Tell me more.
That was Shaw Taylor, who used to be on at the weekend.
Yeah.
And it was you helped the police solve a crime if you saw anything, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he used to say, keep them peeled.
Yes.
Keep them peeled. And that was nice. Innocent, helping the community, brilliant. And then late 80s, we had What's His Face come in with Crime Watch and go, don't have nightmares. It's like, what? What? A lot more creepy. The slogan went from being, let's help each other, to watch out.
Watch out, because there's a baddie around every corner.
And there's no police about. I think it's Crime Watch was the follow-up, wasn't it, to all that? It must have been.
because Police 5 was the first like real help the police kind of program with Shaw Taylor looking, immaculate as he did, and he always inspired confidence that if Shaw Taylor was onto this, then things were going to be solved. Things were going to be solved.
He was like the British Magnum PI, wasn't he?
Kind of, yes.
With no chopper.
It does remind me actually, and this is going back to one of my no chopper. Going back to one of my one of my early radio careers.
It's still sub judice.
Still sub judice.
Sorry,
there was a campaign that was being basically it was grass up something. Yeah. But the name of the campaign was called Finger a Criminal.
Oh yeah,
and that was can you finger a criminal? And I had to say in all trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
Coming up next, it's time to finger a criminal.
Who came up with that?
Who came up with that and did not realise? No. Finger a criminal.
That's pretty much how it happens in the prisons. Maybe that's what they're prepping them for. Come on, they're in the showers. Oh God,
the soap.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it was something nice about that. Those shows, particularly when they had a bank of telephones.
Yes.
Where they'd be like, we've had a call in and we found him and he's in prison or something. Yeah. And it would be like, wow, this has really been brilliant and effective. And that's why they don't do it now, because you couldn't do that.
It's all cybercrime now, James.
Is it?
It's all up in the cloud, isn't it? There's
stuff's happening.
Nobody's, unless you're getting stabbed, then it's all in the cloud, James.
Yeah, it's all happening there.
It's all Bitcoin
virtual.
and all that kind of stuff,
virtual
isn't it?
crimes.
I remember you said the catchphrase, but let's hear the catchphrase from the man himself.
Oh,
here we go.
I'll see you next week. Until then, keep them peeled. Bye-bye.
Keep them peeled.
Well, that paperwork there, did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, none of that now.
Did you see on the other clip as well, the photo fit picture?
Yes.
Where they had like a...
Slide in
a different pair of eyes until it was literally cut and paste. Cut out, try these different eyes, and then they'd do the same for the mouth, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the nose.
It was a bit like the blankety blank board. They'd slide and reveal the answers. Just slide in the eye, slide in the nose. Did he have a fat nose or thin nose? He's got a thin nose. He had a hat on, right? He's got a beanie hat like Benny at Crossroads. That's it. That's the criminal hat.
They used to have police artists as well, didn't they? Where they could do, they would come up, you would describe stuff. This sounds like Stone Age almost now, doesn't it? Where they would say, what did he look like? Did he have curly hair? So they draw somebody with curly hair.
Yeah.
Did he wear glasses? Oh yes, he wore glasses. Yeah. And that was, I'm not sure whether the photo fit was the follow-up to that or whether it was in addition to that. But
I think the photo fit was probably after, because they had the pre-drawn. There wasn't some talented guy doing a shit version of Guess Who. Did he have earrings? Did he have curly hair? Did he have lipstick? I think that was the guy. But he was a talented guy. He'd turn up and chat to the victim and they go, did he look like this? And they go, no, you are shit. Nothing like that, mate. Tony Hart on his rounds. I think, and then the pre-drawn ones, brilliant, state of the art.
Just come in and slide. It was like those books do you remember the pop-up books?
Yes.
Kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what was the characters where you could dress somebody up they'd have the police helmet, or you could...
The strippers.
And you could then change, then perhaps it'd be a fireman's uniform that you could change, and then they'd have swimming trunks on underneath.
That's it, and wellies.
That
brilliant.
kind of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like that. That was good. We used to read with my boys things like that and chop and change what they're wearing. Great stuff. Yeah.
On that happy note, we'll say this is the end of episode 7. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you can remember what that mystery sound is off the TV, leave a little message in the comments and we'll let you know next time around whether you come up lucky and won tickets to one of James's comedy shows, which, by the way, James, where can we find you these days?
Oh, my goodness. Everywhere. We're coming up to Christmas now. Every weekend there's at least 4 shows on. I'm from one end of the country to the other. So, just check it out. Stitches.fun is the main place to see all the places to find the shows. And, every Friday, Saturday, there's something right through till Crimbo.
You're nearly as busy as me, James.
Yeah, you're busier.
Oh, my God.
They won't let you off the radio.
Oh, my God. If you want to find me doing my little radio thing, Easy Radio, I'm on every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
And Nation Radio, every evening, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Not Saturdays, but Sundays as well.
Right. So if any crimes happen on a Saturday
night,
that's you.
That's me, yes.
But they know we are all the other times.
The other times, yes.
Yeah.
So there we go. So on that happy note, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you've liked what you've heard, just pass us on to one friend. And if you're not already subscribed to us, do press the subscribe
It's free,
button.
isn't it?
Yeah, and set it up for notifications so you know when the new episode comes out. Because our goal is to get 1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers would be wonderful, and we're very quickly approaching 700. So it'd be lovely to just spread it around and subscribe.
Thank you. We will see you next time, next Tuesday.
Don't have nightmares.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition. We'd love it if you could subscribe in your favourite podcast app, and don't forget there's a video version on YouTube too. You can contact us using the links in the show notes and on the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time for another edition of Bring Back the 80s.